Hello, Alyssa Pecky here, and I'm going to tell you some of the basics about Twitter. Twitter is a social media site. The site was created and launched in 2006, and nowadays it's one of the biggest social media websites out there. Its main feature is allowing the users to send and read 140-character messages called tweets. And you can access it through a browser or through the Twitter app.
So this is how Twitter appears through a browser on a laptop or a desktop. As you can see, the most prominent feature on our home screen is the timeline, TL, or as some people call it, the feed. This shows all the tweets that you have placed on there, all the tweets of people that you follow, replies, retweets, you name it, as well as the occasional ad. Speaking of following, you can see some suggestions here. Following means you follow a person, organization, or company and receive their tweets in your feed. Your follows then receive your tweets in their feed. Over here are the trends, which, as you can see, are hashtags and just general topics that are basically popular at the moment, that are trending, as we say. And then when you click on it, it basically pulls up all the tweets that have that hashtag or are talking about that topic. Going back to our home screen. Looking up here at the top, you have some other options. You have notifications. You have moments, which are the big news stories and topics. And then you have messages, or DMs, where you can directly message someone without worrying about character limits or anyone else seeing it. And then finally, you have your profile. On your profile, you have cover picture, your profile picture. You have your name, your handle or username, which can be used during mentions or when you're replying to someone. You also can have a tag just to kind of give people an idea of what you're about or what you like. And then you can also have a website if you have one, or you can put your birthday and also your location, but I don't do that. So what things that people see, they can see your tweets, and as you can see, you can also pin a tweet so that way that's always on top. Replies, photos, videos, see who's you're following, who's following you, as well as things that you've just liked, not actually retweeted. Oh, and remember, unlike Facebook, you don't have to know someone in order to follow them or for them to follow you. So unless you switch to private mode within settings, everyone can see this. The phone and tablet app is a thin client, so you need internet access to really use it. I prefer using it on my phone because not only is it convenient, but also it's a lot easier to navigate back and forth. Because on the desktop, I have to wait for things to load all the time.
So, what can you do on Twitter? Like I said, you can tweet text, pictures, GIFs, videos, vines, and polls.
You've also got the search bar so you can look up maybe people you want to follow, or hashtags or just general topics that you're interested in. But another thing you can also do is create lists, which can be people that you're not necessarily following, but you make a list, either private or public, and it allows you to group all the people that you've put down on your list into one area so you can look at it and see what the news is with them, which is really helpful.
Personally, I use Twitter to follow news, local places, my favorite actors, actresses, and authors, and then show movies and book franchises that I actually really, really like. I can also connect with people with the same interests all around the world, which you can't really do on Facebook since I wouldn't know them on there. And that's kind of part of what makes it cool, because all these people with the same interests can just like talk to each other on Twitter. But I guess the main question is, how can libraries and information organizations use it?
Hello everyone. everyone, this is Hannah Sable coming to you from my living room. Today, in this part of the project, I will be discussing how libraries can use Twitter. I found through my research and scholarly journal articles that there seem to be three major ways that libraries can use Twitter. There is observatory, which is for professional development, participatory for customer service, user services, and broadcast, which is mainly used for marketing. So I will be showing you some of the scholarly research that I found, but I will also be taking you onto some Twitter pages of certain libraries to show how they exemplify the three main uses of Twitter. The first category of Twitter and library use is observatory, or professional development. Lots of libraries use Twitter to follow other libraries, keep up on industry news, and build professional connections, and it's also a way to share knowledge among staff. One librarian said in a blog, "I follow over 1,500 UK librarians on Twitter, and their tweets keep me up to date with what is happening in the profession, what I need to check out, what libraries are doing, people's opinions, and so on." Lots of libraries follow other library accounts too for a model on good social media.
One of those libraries to follow is the New York Public Library. They follow a lot of other libraries, as you can see, but they also follow independent libraries such as Queens and Brooklyn. A lot of the libraries on this page are within their own branch. They're also a good model for social media, as they have over 700,000 followers and are extremely active on Twitter.
The second category is participatory, which is user services. This has 4 subcategories, the first of which being student services. Says Palmer, given that students are both a key stakeholder group for libraries and are a key user group of social media, it is not surprising that many libraries are looking to social media tools as a method for engaging students. These methods include academic libraries tweeting out due dates for books or for assignments and being available on Twitter for students to ask questions. The second subcategory is reference. You can ask reference questions over Twitter, and a good example of this, which I can show you, is the hashtag #AskAnArchivistDay.
So this day took place on October 1st, and it was basically a day to break down barriers between the public and archives and to speak with the public about what archivists do and to ask reference questions like, what's the coolest item in your collection? What should I do to make sure my emails don't get lost? How can I preserve my family photos, etc.?
The second category of participatory use is collections. These accounts can be used to encourage and even solicit collection requests, says Petit. We can directly ask our users, what books or materials would you like to see that we don't have, or what books did you want to find but couldn't find in our library? It's a way for users to participate in the collections decisions that libraries make. The final subcategory is customer service. Having a presence on social media can attract comments from your user base, both positive and negative, says Barnes. The purpose of Twitter in this case is to seek opinion on the library and its services for self-evaluation purposes, to encourage debate, and to instigate an opportunity to respond to library user feedback. It gives users a place to voice their comments, questions, and concerns. The final category of Twitter use is broadcasting or marketing. This is a way to establish an institutional presence that allows librarians to extend the library's online reach. Instead of broadcasting to their community, they can broadcast all over the world. They can promote events, they can promote new resources or collections, make highlights on their websites, and distribute news about the library.
The New York Public Library does this, and I'm just going to show you one tweet recently from the 17th. They added new titles to their Jewish research collection, so they're promoting a collection. And also here they talk about their partnership with Bookshare, which is news for them.
Thank you for watching my section on uses of Twitter. Next up, you'll see Emily discuss a case study of a specific library and their Twitter feed.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Brush, and at this point Sarah has shown you the basics of Twitter, and Hannah has shown you how libraries can use Twitter. I'm going to talk about a case study that I did on the Brighton District Library and their use of Twitter. The case study ran between October 1st and November 15th of this year, 2015. And during that time period, there were 98 posts or tweets from the library
and I'm going to talk a little bit about what kind of content they posted during the time period. This is the Brighton District Library's Twitter page. You'll notice all of the familiar Twitter features, such as the profile photo, which in this case is the library's logo. They also have a header photo, which in this case shows their thank you for the community supporting their recent millage. They have their Twitter name, which is Brighton District Lib at Brit District Lib. Their tagline is connecting individuals to the world, and they have listed their address and phone number. They have a link to their website here, and you can see that they joined the library in April of 2011. Now, if we look at their timeline, you can see that since they joined Twitter in April of 2011, they have posted 2,443 tweets. They are following 35 other Twitter members. You'll notice that even more Twitter members are following the library at 294. And the library has liked 25 tweets. If you wanted to follow the Brighton District Library on Twitter, you would push following. But since I am already following, it comes up as unfollow, which I don't want to do. Now, if you look here, you can see the list of tweets that the library has posted. To the right of that, you can look at tweets and replies. During the case study, I noticed that not very many replies were left for the library. And then you can look at just photos and videos if you'd like to. During the 45-day period, a major way the library used Twitter was for promoting library programs. Out of 98 tweets between October 1st and November 15th, 38 tweets were posted promoting programs. 45 tweets provided a link to register for a program and other points of interest such as articles. Brighton also posted many pictures. Pictures were posted along with program promotion, reading tips, holiday-related posts, millage reminders, and many other types of posts. Over the 45-day period, there were 47 tweets which contained a photo. The Brighton District Library used their Twitter page for posting reading tips from the Read Aloud campaign, which encourages parents to read aloud with their children at least 15 minutes a day. The library posted a total of 30 tips for parents about reading with their children. During the 45-day period, there were 4 cases of followers retweeting one of the Brighton District Library's tweets. There were 12 likes from followers, and the library made no use of hashtags. It appears that there was little conversation between patrons and the library during the 45-day period.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Conrad, and I will be talking about the benefits of using Twitter in the library. So, social media has become such an important part of the daily lives of many people today. According to a survey conducted by the Pew Research Center, around 74% of internet users also use social media. With such a large number of people using it, social media can be a powerful tool for businesses and organizations like a library looking to promote themselves. And I will be sharing today some of the benefits of using Twitter and what makes it such a great tool for that all librarians should utilize. So Twitter is all about communication and conversations. Using the 140 characters in a tweet, people can post concise but interesting messages for others to view and retweet. This makes it an excellent resource for librarians looking to get the word out about their library and various events, but not wanting to overload people with too much information. Along with Facebook, Twitter is one of the most popular social media sites for librarians to promote events and news about their library. And this is one of the great benefits that Twitter has. It is a great way for librarians to promote different events and things going on at the library. It is safe and cost effective and easy to use. A librarian can easily post a reminder about an event coming up in the next week, or as a way to display a new book that might be coming in. And this all can be done very easily and quickly and without any cost to the library. Plus, the 140 character limit makes it easy to post a small snippet of information that any patron who might be interested in learning more can easily get more information from the library itself. With roughly 67% of the internet users who also use social media being between the ages of 18 and 29, libraries using Twitter as a resource are able to connect with that younger generation in a new way and to promote the library to these younger generations who might not know about the benefits that a library has. Twitter is also a great way for libraries to widen the range of patrons that they are serving. Because Twitter is an internet source, it can be accessed by anybody anywhere in the world as long as they have internet access. So someone in Great Britain who maybe wants to know about their library back home can stay up to date on information from that library and different events going on as long as that library has a Twitter feed. Twitter is also an excellent way to build community connections. By retweeting and following different people and organizations on Twitter, a library can facilitate new connections and relationships that may be beneficial for them in the future. Posting about events and programs at a library can give the library another way to make its voice heard in the community as well. And it is a great way for patrons to provide feedback to the library about what might make it better and the library better able to serve its patrons. So Twitter is an excellent resource for the library to use, and it should be something that all librarians look into using. And I'd also like to take a moment to look at the Twitter feed of the Brighton Public Library and see how it has been a beneficial use for that library. So we are looking at Brighton District Library's Twitter page, and as I had mentioned earlier, one of the best ways for libraries to use Twitter is to promote different events going on at the library. And we can see that Brighton District Library is doing a great job of doing that. If we look down their Twitter page, we see that they have many different tweets about different events going on at the library, such as the Hunger Games trivia question program, or if you have any questions about e-readers, you can come into the library. So they're reminding their patrons of the different programs and events they have going on at the library. And this is a great tool for the libraries to use. Not only is Brighton District Library using their Twitter to promote themselves, but they're also building a strong community. We see that this first tweet here from 5 hours ago is about anybody holding a VG's Grocery Star Yes card is also helping benefit the library. So they're building those connections both for the library and for this grocery store. And we also see that they are following a lot of different people on Twitter, and these are different connections that they can use within the community and to help build the library itself. So not only are they following different businesses, but they're following different people, and different people are following them. We also see that they have another library following them, so another business that they can connect with and share ideas to help promote their library. So as we see here, they have a lot of different people who are staying connected with them and wanting to know what's going on at the library. And that's just a great way to promote themselves. And so we can see that Brighton District Library's Twitter page is an excellent example of how Twitter can be a great benefit to libraries and to the patrons of those libraries.
Hello, my name is Ellen Buer. Twitter is a great way for libraries to showcase their collections and services and to connect with their patrons and the wider community. And yet, as with all social media channels, Twitter is not without its challenges. According to the 2014 Taylor and Francis white paper regarding social media use in libraries, the 4 major challenges facing libraries when using Twitter are time, talent, tone, and taking Twitter to the community. How often should a library tweet? The answers vary from daily to only when you have something to say. For the effective use of Twitter, tweets need to be made on a regular basis. Let's take a look at Emily's subject from her case study, the Brighton District Library. As you can see, we have some posts here. We see 2 posts for November 17th, 2 posts for November 18th, and if you scroll up here to today, we have 2 posts that were made today. This takes time. Unless a library is large enough to hire a social media coordinator, its social media tasks are assigned to members of different departments or to one staff member who adds retweeting, tweeting, and following to a job description already burdened. Finding staff members who have technical ability and interest in maintaining a Twitter account for a library can also be a concern. According to Chu's 2012 study of social media use in academic libraries, staff members expressed a lack of confidence in using social media in general and were frustrated with finding the time to be trained in social media skills. The Francis and Taylor study describes Twitter as a more formal social media. However, sources acknowledge that libraries should strike a balance between being professional and being approachable in tone, all in a limited number of characters. If more than one librarian contributes to Twitter, the tone could be inconsistent. Also, as more librarians use social media in their personal lives, at times a blurring of professional and personal boundaries can occur. The key to maintaining this balance in tone is planning. Whether the Twitter page is maintained by one person or several, whether the plan be set by a detailed policy or a looser set of guidelines, the recommendation is that before tweeting, thought should be given as to what type of tone will be accepted by the library's followers. The Twitter page of the Montana State University Library was featured in an article entitled "Using Social Media to Engage Community." This library established a social media committee that devised a plan with direct intention to make tweets with personality and also ones that would draw people into the library and create a lot of followers for their library and for the Twitter page. And there are several ways that they've done that. For example, first they started out by creating a mascot. This is Rufus and his little ones. They appear in pictures all over the campus. Another way, they used a lot of hashtags, as you can see in their tweets, and they also reach out to organizations outside the library, such as Cat Grizz Football, but then they also bring those people back in by showing links to their archives, for example, historical photographs of MSU football. They also use a great deal of polls, as you can see. Here's where's your favorite place to study in the library. Not a very scholarly poll, but 9 people responded. So with lots of hashtags, a lot of connections, a lot of talking about what's going on campus, such as the Undie Run with hashtags. They are able to reach out to the community and receive a great following. As you can see, 1,593 followers. And they're a very effective way of engaging the community and making all the time that it takes to create a Twitter page well worth the effort.